What you got to understand, God is not an author of confusion. God is a God of love, and God is a God of peace. What you got to understand, you got to allow your peace to be still, but not with the enemy. You have to allow your peace to be still with God, because you got to be willing to trust. Just because that person made you mad, just because that friend turned their back on you, just because your boyfriend cheated on you, whatever the case might be, just because you're going through a lot right now, it does not give you a reason to self-sabotage. Self-sabotage meaning that doesn't mean you doubt yourself. What is wrong with you? That doesn't mean you speak ill over yourself, because you speaking ill over yourself, it's going to be a matter of time before your mind becomes ill, which means there's only going to become a time, if you keep speaking negativity, in which your mind is going to naturally become negative. God did not create you to speak death over yourself. God gave you a sense of power. A power to do what? Speak those things as if they were. When you come before God and you tell God how you feel, God will uplift you, not man. God will give you rest. God will give you shelter. God will give you love. Anything that you can't find within yourself or around you, guess what? You can't find it anywhere else, because God is the one who provides it to you. If you're a person who's trying to find love, if you're a person who wants to find happiness, you first have to find that within yourself. So that means you cannot be ungrateful with the things that God has given you. You cannot be in competition with someone who appears to have more than you. Because when you accept the fact and when you find joy in your current situation, then God will be able to add on to you. Why are you so afraid of opening up to God? What you're doing to God, God does to you. God says in his word, he's a light unto your feet and a lamp unto your path. What you got to understand, God knows what you're going through. You are allowing yourself to suffer, because God will continuously knock on your door, but he only unlocks those doors for those who answer him. So you tell yourself, oh, new year, new me. I say new you, but you're still living in an old version of you. The only way that God could give you the renewed version of you, what does renewed mean? Meaning, the person that he created you to be, the only way you can step into that new version of you is if you let go of that old version of you. And I'm not saying let go like suppress it, no, because you're a person, you might like to suppress stuff. You might pretend that things doesn't happen. But what you got to understand, you have to wake up and take accountability, because blame blocks healing. Where there is no vision, my people perish. God says it in his word all the time. God knows that weapons will form, but he said they will not prosper. God says in his word, his ways are higher than your ways and his thoughts are higher than your thoughts. So why would you continue to think low if you're in search of becoming high? You cannot find happiness in temporarily fulfillments. That means you cannot find happiness in your boyfriend. You cannot find happiness in your husband. You cannot find happiness in that job. You cannot find happiness in that career if you're not already happy within yourself, because your power of connection stems from the fact of how you feel about yourself. If you are a person who lives in a facade, guess what? What does that mean? If you're a person who puts on for the internet, because there's a lot of y'all that's out there who makes it seem like they're not hurting, who makes it seem like they're really winning, but at the same time, guess what you're doing? You're putting on an image, and the people that can see right through you sees through you. See, I done been on that side of the fence. I done been there. I done been that friend. I done been that brother. I done been that sister. I done been that child who knows and who done seen. Because all of us are God's children. Just like I'm God's child, you're God's child. I'm a child who sees how God's children view themselves. I once viewed myself low. But it wasn't until God allowed me to have my child into which it allowed me to view myself differently. See, children are blessings. And you are a blessing from God. You have to view yourself as the blessing. You cannot allow yourself to be consumed with defeat, because what a man thinks, so is he. You eat the words in which you speak, so you got to understand, you can speak ill over someone else, but it doesn't stop that from coming back onto you. So be careful how you speak on people. Be careful about who you try to touch, because you got to understand, some people, it's going to be people out there that's going to try to test you. It's going to try to break you. It's going to try to bend you to see what they can get out of you. But what you got to understand, It comes a time where God says he's sick or tired of people playing with you. It's all about he's allowing you to realize when you're going to get tired. When you're going to get tired of living in defeat. When you're going to get tired of saying that you're not enough. Because God tells you and he shows you on a daily basis that you are not what you think that you deserve to be. See, you deserve greatness, but you rather settle. You deserve to be put on high, but you don't want to put in the work. But you can go work that 9 to 5. But you can go work on that unhealthy relationship. But you can continue to give your all to that young man, young lady who doesn't even want you. You can continue to waste your time, young man, on that woman who shows you she got multiple options. See, everything in life, that sense of betrayal brings forth the understanding. That sense of urgency that God has for you, it will hit you like a force field because guess what? God will allow the wrath of his hand to unreveal so that he can allow you to position yourself from your inequities and to allow yourself to be positioned with him. Just because you feel as if you wasted your time, that you feel like as if you can't get yourself right, doesn't mean that God can't get you right. You just giving your power of a connection to the wrong people. And 90% of the problem is you believe what people say about you. You believe what people want you to think that you are instead of going and finding out what God thinks about you. Because when God is not in the picture, you tend to go through hell. Include God in your life. Take it one step at a time. Talk to him every day. Because when you have a relationship with God, then you can see that God is real. You can't pick up no Bible and expect to understand it if you don't have a prior understanding of who God is. You talking to yourself, meaning you talking to God. You speaking good of yourself. You talking to God. You telling God things that you want to see, things that you want to. You telling God how you feel. Guess what? Everything that you tell God is from a connection. Once you have a connection, that structures a relationship. Once you have a relationship, then you can start having the understanding of God. So that's why when you will pick up a Bible, it's certain things that you will know that you never knew before. And if you don't believe me, try it. Until you have a relationship with God, the things in your life won't make sense. It's all about when are you going to get sick and tired, and when are you going to stop blaming everyone else except the person who deserves it all. And when I say deserve it all, everything that God has for you, which is you. Blame yourself. Take accountability, whether you was in the wrong or in the right. Learn from everything because God is about to position you if you allow him to. I don't know who this message was for, but if this message for you, and you made it this far, I want you to comment amen. Don't say what you ain't gonna do. Don't say what you will do. Just allow God to show you what he wants you to do. All right, y'all. Peace.